drawing board. Orlando Magic already eliminated first round. They're chilling there right now, sitting in front of their board. DK Marvin, what should be on that board right now? Talk to me.
Deacon, do you have any trades that you think they should be specifically looking at?
For sure. Well, first off, I'll just say a couple signings. I think I mentioned this in the Clippers episode, but I think Paul George potentially going to the Magic could be
I like it.
killer. I think that should be option number one. I don't know if it's possible. A lot of people have said Klay Thompson. I'm not a fan just because I don't want to see Klay Thompson in a Magic jersey. That
No.
just doesn't seem right. It would give like Celtics Shaq vibes, but otherwise, I don't
Can
hate
I,
it. So
sorry, interrupt you. I want to before we move on from Clay though. It's just to
yeah,
me, like fit wise, I feel like you're gonna have to pay him too much because I don't think
I,
he's gonna
I
take a big
agree.
I don't
Yeah,
think he's gonna take a big enough pay cut. For one, he kind of seems like a somewhat cocky guy. Um, like he wouldn't. I don't think he would let himself go that low. He's not ring chasing. He has four of them. He lets the whole world know. And plus, like if you're ring chasing, I don't think Orlando is the first place you're going to for Klay Thompson.
yeah.
And so you're gonna have to pay him a decently sized contract over a long enough time, and you're gonna lose a lot of your opportunity in the future to sign a big guy that might be a really nice fit with your young
Mhm.
squad right now. And plus, what do they need right now? Shooting and playmaking. He brings shooting, but how consistency has he been shooting? Do you guys remember that playing game? So that's the
Yeah,
player you're gonna want to sign 20 million plus to for the next 4 years? That makes no sense. And I've seen this
yeah.
on Magic pages, and it pisses me off. It makes no sense. Thank you, Deacon.
I don't think it makes no sense, but he would be on like, in terms of like who I would go after, he wouldn't be that high on the list. I think Malik Monk is another name I would go after before.
I like
I
it.
mean, Malik Monk might be number two on my list just because
I like it.
he's such a good shot creator, especially off the bench. He'd probably start in Orlando, and if not, he'd probably win Six Man of the Year this time after he was robbed. But just in general, I mean, he does provide a little bit of playmaking. I think he was at 5 assists per game last year. But I think those are like the notable signings that they should go after. But we also, throughout these drawing board episodes, we've mentioned the Utah guards quite a bit, and there's a lot of them, and Utah may give up one of them. I mean, we don't have sources,
Or
but we
more.
just assumed. Um, yeah, one or
You're
more.
telling me you don't have a source inside the Jazz right now talking to you,
I
blowing up
do.
your phone?
Not within the Jazz, but like everywhere else. So
Oh, that's fair.
yeah, yeah.
That's my bad.
Um, so I have a trade for Colin Sexton, who's I think uh
Yeah.
solving a lot of their deficiencies, not to a T, but pretty well. He's also on a nice contract.
Yeah.
And he is young and he plays hard defense. He's not great at defense, but he plays hard. So my trade is it's quite a bit because Utah, if we're talking young guards on Utah, Sexton and Keontae George are probably the ones that you don't want to trade. But it's going to be Cole Anthony, Jet Howard, and Denver's 2025 first round pick. So
Wow.
that
That is a
seems like a lot.
lot.
That is a lot. So hear me out. Denver is going to be really good. Who needs that late first round pick anyway? I mean, who knows? They
They know
could
how to
be
draft you
super
with
injured.
that.
Well, yeah. I mean, they haven't been drafting amazingly lately, so I don't know if those firsts are crazy valuable. I'm just being a hater. They drafted really well, but last year
Yeah.
was kind of rough.
Comments, people. Paulo, that just happened recently.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's more of what have you done for me lately? But anyway, Cole Anthony, he was really solid. I really liked his minutes in the playoffs. He didn't play a ton. Um, and then Jet Howard didn't get to play a ton this year, and I don't know how confident I am in him because he's like exactly what the Magic need, but that he still can't find playing time. So Mosley just, I don't know. I don't know what's going on there, but
I think it's defense.
I think that's a big part of it. He wasn't a great defender at Michigan, but it's just hard to see them not play a shooter when that's like all he did, you know. And then the first round pick, like I said, it's going to be late, and you're trying to pry Colin Sexton away from Utah on a super nice contract. He's like 25 years old, and I think he could step in and start right next to Suggs.
Oh yeah, for sure. You'd want. I don't think like silver lining being. I've seen this in Magic chat conversations. you don't want Suggs as your starting point guard. No hate on Suggs. I just think he'd excel much better as a starting shooting guard next to a
Yeah,
playmaker. As he's just not.
right.
Yeah, I just don't think that's the perfect role for him. And you want to give your guy
Mhm.
the chance to succeed.
Yeah,
So I love that Sexton trade. Feedback wise, like I think that's a phenomenal trade. Actually, it is a heavy package, but given the Magic already building their young core, and Sexton would fit right into that kind of so beautiful 2 years left on that contract, and being able to re-sign him, they still have plenty of picks after. I think that's a good package you can give up, and I think it's an attractive package if you're the Jazz.
right.
Jazz fans, if you disagree with me, put it in the comments. But I think that's a good package. Cole Anthony, he's a baller. He's certified. Howard, I
For
think
sure.
he has lots of potential. I think Mosley's really, really defensive minded, and I think maybe Howard just doesn't live up to his expectation on that end. I personally think that's why he hasn't got minutes, but I have no idea. Then you got first rounder. So I think that's a good package. I love Sexton there. Defense, yeah, he does everything that they need. He really does. He does anything any team needs. I think Sexton would just be an awesome fit on any team. I think it's that simple. Another
Yeah,
fit that I think would be awesome on any team who's a free agent. I've talked about it. He might be my biggest free agent this season. It sounds crazy. Is Emmanuel quickly. I think he also would be such a great fit. Young guy. You can sign him now, keep him for your future. You have the space. And I think there's no regrets if you sign Emmanuel quickly. We see him put up big games
Mhm.
in New York, like
Yeah.
huge game, scoring
Well, in
bunches. He can
Toronto
score by
too.
himself, catch and shoot, highly efficient, great defender, playmaker. I think he would be honestly one of your golden free agent targets, especially for a young team that can get another young star
Right.
to all just develop together.
Yeah, one
And he plays defense aggressively too. I mean, he's skinny, so he's gonna have trouble with the bigger guards, but he definitely it's not with for a lack of effort, you know. And he fits in with the Magic culture.
Yeah, I think Spencer Dinwiddie could be a good signing. I mean, he was cheap for the Lakers. I think he'll go cheap for Orlando too if they want him. But I think a little bit of veteranship at point guard could help too. I don't necessarily think he'll get
Yeah,
too many minutes, but I do think he could be a help in the locker room and potentially in clutch time too at that guard position. I mean, we've seen he can definitely get stops on defense. Great playmaker. He can shoot the ball. Um, Also, we mentioned with the Sixers in the other episode, Buddy Hield is a free agent. He definitely checks that shooting box. He can play
yeah.
make. And then I also have Burks. He's also an older guy, but he can shoot the ball really well. Good veteran leader. And then I couldn't exactly find out what Olynyk's free agency status was, or if he even was. He was
I think
listed
he
as a
just
free agent on a.
extended.
Okay, that's what it was. But maybe they could. I feel like he could be someone that could be nice if they trade for him for like a kind of. I mean, he can play stretch five. So
Yeah,
I think that could be nice because I mean, Orlando clearly likes playing. I mean, Wendell plays stretch five, like we talked about. Isaac plays at stretch five, and I think Olynyk would could fit in really well with that too.
yeah.
So those are
How
just some other free
confident
agents.
how confident are you guys in that 5-man rotation? I'm not crazy confident. I think I think if they can, they should look to upgrade.
I love that. I have here. Listen to my trade here. This is going to be kind of a spicy trade. All
Let's see
my
it.
trades are related to the Hawks, so you might know where this is going. Because what are the needs that we see right now from the Hawks? We're talking about a guard. They're losing for one. They're Markel Fultz, and just they're missing shooting and playmaking. And point guard is exactly that. And like we said, we don't want Suggs being our starting point guard. So the Hawks, obviously, DeJounte Murray and Trae Young have both been floating around in that. So I think both of them are very attractive trades trades for the Magic, just given the pieces, the fits, everything that you can do. And then another piece that could be potentially involved is Clint Capella. I mean,
Yeah.
Okongwu if you can, but he's a little shorter and he's young on a good contract. I think it'd be hard to pull him away from Atlanta. But Clint Capella is only, I think he's still just 29. He's not that old, and I think he could be a true center, given, like Marvin said, they already have those small ball lineup centers. If they ever want to get a little bigger body, guy that can really get awesome offensive rebounds and just lob cut threat, backline defense threat, he could be a really cool guy to have on that roster. So one package here that I have, including Clint Capella, will be a Trae Young and Clint Capella package. So this would be a big package. I might be going too easy. Maybe they'll have to owe them more. Maybe the Magic might have to throw in more. I have Cole Anthony, like Deacon said, all super great contract, explosive guard. Um, and then for all each of the next 4 years, including this draft in 2024, a first rounder from the Magic. So for 4 first round picks and Cole Anthony. So you
Mhm.
get a nice contract. This is right now DeJounte Murray, Okongwu, and Boji would all currently stay. But so you have a DeJounte Murray offense with Cole Anthony, and then you get 4 first round picks. So it's going to immediately get you going. And I think that puts the Hawks in a pretty nice like draft capital situation for the next few years. I think it gives them 2025 first rounders, something like that, and replenishes a lot of their picks that they lost. They might have thrown another. I'm perfectly fine with that. This is kind of the package I drew up. Marvin, you look disgusted.
Did you say Boji?
Marvin, I can't pronounce their names. Bojan
And
I can't.
Bogdan?
I know this isn't Bojan, but they're both a good example of I
It's
can't pronounce
literally
those names.
the first 6 letters of his last name is his first name.
I know, but Boji, I think that's what people call him.
Boji.
Boji.
Bogey.
I,
I'm sorry.
for
It just
me,
kind of
I don't
caught
know
me
why,
off
bro.
guard. It took me a second to figure out who you were talking
Bojan and
about.
Boji, like those G and the J, they just like they make that sound, the J and the G sound, the J sound. Bojan, Boji, like that's the sound they make in my
It just
mind.
kind of caught me off guard for a second. I had to think about who that was.
I'm sorry. Maybe Boji's disgusted with me too. I'm sorry. All
He
respect.
probably
No
is.
hate. No
He's
hate.
probably gonna drop a comment and be like, "What the heck, man?"
Yeah, he is a
Yeah.
regular watcher.
He's a friend of the show, so.
He's a friend of the show.
Yeah. But to speak on the trade itself, I think you got to throw in like Anthony Black.
Jet
Okay.
Howard, maybe.
Who did you say?
Jet Howard, maybe.
That's
Oh yeah,
true. You
Jet
can throw in
Howard.
Joe
Yeah,
Howard. That's fine.
yeah. It just because like I don't know the Clint Capella piece as well. Like that is a hefty
I just
package.
want to say, if given that they trade Trae Young, at that point, Clint Capella, and he might already be somewhat of a liability, given they already have a Kongu, given that he's on only 1 year left on his contract. So given that they actually take Capella, that might actually be doing them a favor, the Hawks,
But
giving
also,
them more cap space to sign with the team that they just have right now, or if they want to trade DeJounte or whatever, it might be doing them a favor. That's kind of where I was like, I'm not trying to throw too much. But if they need to throw, I think Jed's fine, whatever. Black would be awesome to keep just because of the defense, because Trey does not great defense, despite he's gotten a lot better, and Suggs already there. But if you have Black and Suggs and Trey, I think it'd be ideal. But you can do.
yeah. I just think so. Like you said, like I think that makes sense. Like Clint Capella is not as valuable as he would be without Trae Young. But in this trade, he is still with Trae Young, so I still think he's pretty valuable. So I think, I mean, maybe an extra first like Jet Howard, yeah. But I like the trade for Orlando. I think I prefer honestly DeJounte. He just
I do
takes the
too.
ball.
Let me
He
get
just
there.
takes. Well, I'll
Go
let you
ahead.
say your
Sorry.
trade, and
Go
then
ahead.
I'll let you say your trade, then I'll explain my reasoning because.
Yeah, I mean, this is you could do a DeJounte trade. I think similar to the one I just talked about, probably a little bit less value.
Mhm.
Um, Yeah, I mean, you could do Anthony Black in this one because DeJounte is a great defender. You can throw in Anthony Black, I think, here pretty easily. And then I put in a 2025 first round, 2026 first round that gives them at least the Hawks at least one first round pick for each of the draft, and then also 2024 second round for this year. Along with Anthony Black, you might also have to throw more into this deal. I think that's fine. I think I'll let Deacon die. I think this is probably what I say. But yeah, you want to go. I think you want DeJounte. He fits the culture. He's defender, sexy contract, young and he's young, and I think that would be ideal.
Yeah, I mean, his shooting's not as good as Trey, obviously, but he's still a fine shooter. And like you said, his defense fits with the culture, and he takes the ball out of Paulo's hands. Just like Paulo just gets the ball more. Like Trey, he's super ball dominant. We haven't really seen him work with another ball dominant player. Um, and although Paulo is a wing or like a big wing, I'm still not completely sure how well it would work. Um, so I would rather DeJounte in that role. And DeJounte knows how to take a back seat. I mean, we
Mhm.
saw it in San Antonio. We see it in Atlanta.
Yeah.
But I think it would work better. But like I said, the shooting is not exactly there. I mean, it's there. Like he's a better shooter than anyone else they have on their roster, pretty much. For the most
You
part,
get
at
a
least.
minimum guy. You just like get a minimum guy shooter that
Yeah.
we talked about.
I mean, Buddy Hield is probably going to be pretty cheap. Just because he's kind of unplayable in the playoffs at times, unless he was hitting shots, which he was in that game 6, I think. But so yeah, get a Buddy
Another
Hield, get guys in that
Kennard,
range,
Luke
and
Kennard. I don't know
Luke
if Mosley be
Kennard.
big on him, but he's the lights out shooter.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just get guys like that, and so you could switch up that lineup, just so you could have, if you put DeJounte, Paolo, shooters, I mean, that could be really deadly because they're both great mid-range scorers. Well,
Mhm.
Paulo's still getting there, but he's shown flashes for sure. Um, they could both attack, they could both play make. And Paulo's main issue is he doesn't have scores or three point shooters around him to really show off that playmaking. And a really congested lane, he turns the ball over. The early Tatum syndrome, kind of still Tatum syndrome. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious, do you guys have any like specific guys that you want the Magic to pick up in the draft?
Yeah. I think tricky. I think Devin Carter out of Providence. He's kind of in the same mold as Jalen Suggs in terms of, good defender, a great rebounder for his size. He could shoot the three. I mean, he could shoot the three better than Suggs can. If you're just looking for another guard, he's a pretty good playmaker. Um, just off the top of the dome, do you have any?
I have a few written
Hello,
down.
where?
Khalil Ware too,
Oh,
yeah.
that's true. That's true. I
Miles
like
Turner 2.0.
Carrington isn't my favorite, but I feel like he could fit in really well.
Mhm.
Tyler Smith. I
Yeah,
think my favorite one though is probably Baylor Shearman. He shot like 38% three. But he's got good size too. I mean, 6'7", 205 as a shooting guard, shooting 38% is pretty good. So I like that a lot. He's probably my favorite. And then I did put down Darren Holmes when you guys mentioned maybe they should try to get like a just 5 in there. Darren Holmes is definitely a good just straight up 5. He'll do the work in the paint for you. So when you guys
Yeah, or
mentioned that, I
even
did note him down as well.
March Madness star guard Tyler Kolek, Sears,
Mhm.
Estrada.
Yeah, I did look at Sears too.
dude, I'm telling you, he's going to be the next Jalen Brunson, and I think he's projected like second round right now, but he just looks exactly like Jalen Brunson. We'll see though.
Brunson was
Yeah,
second round too, wasn't
he's
he? Or
Yeah,
maybe
projected
like
like early second round,
yeah. I
but we'll
think
see.
Kevin O'Connor had him like ranked top 20
I mean,
for
I
the
think the
ringer.
main
Yeah.
reason why he's so far back is because he's 5'11". He's just short.
Well, yeah. Yeah. We'll see.
Doesn't help elsewhere.
But yeah, I'm a huge fan of those guys you mentioned. And if you're looking at the center position, like Killum Khalil Ware, I don't know how to say his first name, but it's Ware.
I don't know.
Khalil, I don't know. Yeah, not
Yeah.
exactly
I mean,
sure.
he was. Yeah, I think he's kind of Miles Turner-esque. He could stretch the floor. He's high energy. He can leap. That's for sure. I mean, he's a nice dunker. Duran Holmes, good rebounder. Good. He could put the ball on the floor a little bit. He could shoot the three. He's a little bit wiry. Like he would
Yeah,
be more like a small ball big, but I
that's
still
true.
really like him. And if you're playing it next to Paulo, he's also a great rebounder. So you don't need to
Oh yeah,
be like a huge bruising big. You don't need a huge bruising big next to him all the time.
yeah, that's true. I think it'll just
True.
help him a little bit, especially in rebounding.
For sure.
But yeah,
Valid. I mean, I think I don't have anything really more to say. I have one more free agent, that could be interesting too. I mean, I'll talk about quickly. I think he's probably my favorite, but another guy, and he's come up a lot. I think he's just a good fit on almost any team, just based off the way he approaches the game, his mindset, his ability to accept roles would be Tyus Jones. Again, shooting
Yeah.
the ball, 3-point ball very effectively. He wouldn't be a high rate 3-point shooter, but like you can still space the floor from them, give him that threat, give him buckets, and then take care of the ball. Which we also saw they're young, so sometimes they had struggles with simple turnovers, and he's one of the best in the league at generating a lot of assists with a very low turnover ratio. So
Yeah.
he could be excellent, and he's also just a young guy. Like they can probably get for a decently cheap contract if you want to still save some other cap space for future years for this season. Well, then still keeping a young guy to kind of build up the team as a young squad together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or even Melton too, I think could be really nice.
that's true.
Yeah.
Very true. I mean, yeah, I don't think we have anything else besides that, but drop your comments about what you think the Magic should do. Is there any superstars that they should be targeting that we missed, or just simple free agents draft? But drop a comment, drop a like, and subscribe. We'll see y'all next time. Flurry Gang out.